All right, folks. Tomorrow is my birthday. I will be 41. This video is about people lying because they didn't want to get in trouble for things they actually did. They just wanted a scapegoat, so they pushed it off onto me and didn't care how it affected me. They didn't care how it affected my finances. They didn't care how it affected the abuse that I would have to take and have had to take. Natalie Bollinger and Alicia Bollinger didn't want to get in trouble. That's what it came down to. Natalie and her twin sister Alicia were strung out on heroin and methamphetamines, and they got busted. So they tried to deflect it onto somebody who was innocent. Me. Well, it didn't work out so good for them, did it? Alicia Bollinger is still a strung out junkie. Natalie Bollinger is dead as a fucking doornail. Because I was never allowed to defend myself in court and never allowed to defend myself to the media, and nobody bothered to fact check. I continue to take abuse, physical, emotional, financial, all because I don't have any rights because I have a penis. I am the easiest person to scapegoat in America because of bias. Everyone in America knows that they can take their shit out on the homeless and get away with it. Black people do it. White people do it. Men do it. Women do it. Christians do it. Muslims do it. Everyone fucking does it. Old people do it. Kids do it. Everyone does it. When you walk by a homeless person, what do you teach your kids? Stay away from those people. They're probably drug dealers and rapists. Fucking sick pieces of shit. Natalie Bollinger did what she did because I tried to turn her the fuck in, along with her junkie friends who are taking part in the abuse. One thing you'll notice through all of this is that people don't like it when there are consequences for them. Miss Peaches lied to me outright repeatedly because she didn't want to get in trouble. Well, guess what? I recorded conversations with Miss Peaches. Obviously, the things that I said were true. She admitted to being a fucking drug dealer. It's on my YouTube. You're damn right. I used to believe that I had friends until they gave me the mentally ill treatment and gave me the you're a male treatment and the you're white treatment and the you're not physically attractive treatment. These bias are taught to the United States. They're taught to every man, woman, and child in this country. They're taught to hate men, taught to hate white people, taught that everything is men's fault and white people's fault. It takes away reason and accountability. I've noticed that BLM tends to do the same thing that many of these so-called women's liberation movements do. They ignore all victims that are not a part of their group. And that's not even true. They don't ignore the other victims, they shame them and blame them. We get this bullshit shoved down our throats that only white people can be racist and only men can be sexist. And it's bullshit. The whole fucking country is full of racism and sexism. I know black people that don't like Mexicans. I know Mexicans that don't like black people. You know, they're both minority groups. And why is it that anybody who's brown is called Mexican? It ain't right. I got a lot of people who pretended to be my friends, but when it came down to it, they showed that they're not. Because a friend wouldn't have turned a blind eye. A friend wouldn't have lied repeatedly. I tried to turn in Scott DaCosta in 2018 and have been trying to turn him in since. But every agency that I am told, hey, you got to get a hold of this agency, it's their job. And I get a hold of them and they tell me it's not their job. I've had to go through this with the Nebraska State Patrol. I've had to go through this with the FBI. I have had to go through this with local law enforcement. We don't have a police station here. It's too small. We have a sheriff's department. Meanwhile, I had to go to the sheriff for help, despite the fact that there was a obvious conflict of interest because the man had repeatedly had me incarcerated or locked up in mental institutions for trying to turn in his officers. This is a felony, but only if people care. And obviously, I'm not human enough to your society for you to care about. I'm your scapegoat. Scott DaCosta didn't want to get in trouble, so he broke the law to have me incarcerated again this year. He assaulted me last year with the Nebraska State Patrol. He outright lied repeatedly and obstructed government operations. He had me incarcerated because I was trying to turn him in. Leslie Snell did the same thing. She worked together with her boss, Scott DaCosta, and another one of my predators, Robert Warnick, to be able to do this, to illegally prevent me from being allowed to go to court, to illegally prevent me from showing evidence, and to try to have me pegged as schizophrenic, which is very popular when you're trying to turn in cops. I have to do desperate things because I have a penis. I don't have the rights that you have. I take the blame for everything that you do. These people knew that I was trying to turn them in because I was very vocal about it here on my YouTube, on my Facebook, and in real life. And they took steps to illegally prevent me from doing that. They've been doing this since before Natalie was killed. Since before Natalie was killed. I need help, but I'm not worth helping because I'm not rich. I'm not good looking. I'm not 6 foot tall. I'm not female. I'm not a pretty white girl. So I am assumed to be guilty. And there is no evidence that needs to be shown for me to be locked up. You can literally lock me up for crimes that were never committed. But I can't turn in my predators because it's nobody's fucking job. Fuck this goddamn country.